covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 5 starts right now.
New at 5, a rural fire department chief says the governor firing a state employee was a slap in the face to rural firefighters. I'm Shay Rozzi. Thanks so much for joining us.
And I'm Nathan Thompson. The Olive Volunteer Fire Chief told Fox 23 they're frustrated after Governor Kevin Stitt fired the State Forestry Director after the recent wildfire outbreak. Fox 23's Devin Lyon joins us live now in Creek County. Devin, you talked to that fire chief today about why he's so upset.
I did, and I spoke to Chief Dobson here at the Olive Fire Department. They were one of several rural volunteer fire departments fighting those wildfires for what seemed to be days on end. I also called other volunteer fire chiefs on the way here. They feel exactly the same, and they told me it's just another example how they feel they receive almost no support from the state government.
As far as Mark's departure, he's the head of the forestry department, and we had a horrible wildfire in the state of Oklahoma, and didn't think they did a really good job. So
we're frustrated, we're upset, because we feel like the governor slapped all of us in the face when he fired Director Goler.
Chief Jason Dobson with Olive Volunteer Fire Department is one of several volunteer fire chiefs frustrated with Governor Kevin Stitt. Fox 23 told you Thursday the Oklahoma Forestry Director, Mark Goler, was fired by Governor Stitt for reasons connected to the recent wildfire outbreak in Oklahoma.
We're an extension of the Forestry Service. We work hand in hand to fight these fires, and unfortunately the Forestry Service can't put a team in every county, all 77 counties, so they use the fire departments to go to fires, and we call them for help when we need them. And then when you say you didn't do a good enough job or the response was poor, it's a slap in the face to all of us. So, we're all angry. We're all upset. We want answers.
Director Mark Goler had over 40 years of service. After being ousted by the governor, he was recognized at the House floor.
I would like to publicly recognize our soon-to-be former Oklahoma Forestry Director Mark Goler and his 40 years of public service.
When you let somebody go just because you didn't like how it went, it's upsetting. And now the governor needs to answer for the reason why he let him go.
State Attorney General Gentner Drummond also disagreed with the director's removal, saying in part, quote, "It should be inconceivable to think that the courage, skill, and Herculean work of firefighters across the state would be rewarded with the sudden and inexplicable ouster of Director Goler. Honestly, the governor's action is baffling," end quote. Chief Dobson says he has tried to reach out to the governor's office and other elected officials and has yet to get a response.
How can we fix it? How can we be prepared for the next fire? Because it's going to happen again. It will happen again. And we have to be better prepared. But if he's just going and firing people and saying, we didn't do a good job, well, how do we fix that?
His volunteers, like several other rural departments, were on the front lines of these fires.
We do this because we want to protect our community. We want to go out and help a person on the worst day of their life. And that's what we do. We don't do it for the money. But, it would be nice to be appreciated. And what he did says, I really don't appreciate you all.
Fox 23 has brought you coverage on the lack of funding behind volunteer fire departments. Most operate on only $20,000 to $40,000 a year, primarily from donations. While on my way here to Olive, I was on the phone with about 5 different volunteer fire chiefs, and they all told me there's 3 things they can agree on that they need from the state government. The first is just more funding in general. They need help fiscally. Number 2 is they need sponsored volunteer firefighter classes. Right now, those classes cost about $1,000 to $1,500 per firefighter. That comes already out of that restricted budget. And 3, they need employer incentives. Most of, if not all of these volunteer firefighters have full-time jobs, and they worry about losing them when they go off to fight these wildfires. What are your words for Governor Stitt? What are you wanting to tell him if he answered the phone?
I would just ask him to justify why it was such a poor response. What did we do so bad that caused him to fire somebody? I want to know what we have done, and then what can we do to better prepare? Because like I said, it's going to happen again, and we have to be able to work together as a team and figure out what we're going to do to prevent, to at least respond to another disastrous fire like we did.
Now, I have taken all of these needs and questions from these rural volunteer chiefs, and I sent them to Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt's office. Now, within the last hour, we have received a response from the governor giving reason why he dismissed Director Mark Goller. I think we have that quote on screen, but the governor said, in quote, "At the Forestry Director's direction, firefighting resources were delayed, unused, or even called back during critical moments. That's unacceptable. For this reason, he has been relieved of duty," end quote. There's more to that quote. We'll be putting the full thing for you on this story on fox23.com. Live and Olive, covering news that matters. Devin Lyon, Fox 23 News.
We also have more of the governor's statement right now. Quote, "Oklahoma just faced the worst wildfire in our state's history. Over 515 families lost their homes. When lives are on the line, every resource must be deployed without hesitation. It became clear that didn't happen." He went on to say, quote, "We are committed to rebuilding stronger, and that starts with rebuilding trust in the agencies that are meant to protect us."